بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد الحمد لله we gather together for the study اجتمعنا لدراسة هذا الكتاب كتاب التوحيد to study this book كتاب التوحيد and Tawhid is the most important affair in your life and my life. Tawhid, that which will help you and aid you to have sa'ada, to have happiness in this life and the hereafter. As the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said regarding the hereafter, أسعد الناس بشفاعتي يوم القيامة من قال لا إله إلا الله خالصا من قلبه. The most happiest of people, the happiest of people concerning my intercession on the day of judgment are those who say La ilaha illallah sincerely from their heart. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam called to Tawheed. All of the messengers called to Tawheed. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. Indeed, we have sent to every nation a messenger calling the people to worship Allah and to keep away from the false deities. At-Tawhīd. The Messenger ﷺ sent Mu'adh radiallahu anhu to Yemen and said to him, إِنَّكَ ذَاهِبٌ إِلَى أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ فَلْيَكُنْ أَوَّلَ مَا تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَيْهِ الشَّهَادَةُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. You're going to the people of the book. So the first thing you call them to is the testification that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah. Where is this hadith? In Sahih al-Bukhari, Kitāb At-Tawhīd. In the same chapter, a similar wording. فَلْيَكُنْ أَوَّلَ مَا تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَيْهِ أَنْ يُوَحِّدُوا اللَّهِ. That the first thing you call them to is that they single Allah out in worship. Tawheed. So anyone who says to you, you always busy the people with Tawheed. You Sunnis, Salafis, always Tawheed, Tawheed, Tawheed. And some of them mention it 5 times, Allah yahdi. And Tawheed is 3 categories, not 5. And while you're saying it and you're angry, this is the thing that will get you to paradise. The Messenger ﷺ called to Tawheed. And he sent the best of the people, the Sahaba, those who, the likes of Mu'adh ibn al-Jabal, the most knowledgeable in halal and haram, sending him to Yemen to call the people of the book to Tawheed and yuwahhidullah. All the messages called to Tawheed, Surah An-Nahl, as we've just mentioned. And all of the messengers warned of the severity of its opposite, ash-shirk. وَلَقَدْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ وَإِلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ لَئِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And he has said to the people, it has been revealed to you and those before you, that if you were to commit shirk, your deeds will become null and void. In Surah Al-An'am, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned 18 prophets and messengers. And at the end of that, He said, وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا لَحَبِطَ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. If they were to commit shirk, their deeds will become null and void. So how beautiful it is to study Tawheed and to know Tawheed in its detail. Do you think the one who came to teach us wudu did not tell us about Tawheed? He taught us wudu, tahara. You think he's not going to tell us about aqidat al-Muslim? He called us to Tawheed. Tawheed, the Messenger ﷺ called to right until his deathbed. لا تطروني كما أطرأت النصارى عيسى ابن مريم ولكن قولوا عبد الله رسوله. Don't over-exaggerate me just like the Christians over-exaggerated Isa ibn Maryam. But rather say, I'm a slave of Allah and His messenger. How beautiful it is to be described as a slave of Allah, to be upon Tawheed, a worshipper of Allah. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called you and me to. No action will be accepted unless it's upon Tawheed and Sunnah, with ikhlas and upon the Sunnah, not upon shirk and bid'ah. So yes, we busy the people with this and busy ourselves with this first and foremost, because this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called to. From the beginning of the book, the Quran, from the beginning, from Fatiha until Nas. All of the Quran, Allah calls us to Tawheed. how beautiful the Quran is and how beautiful the words of Allah are. Calling us to Tawhīd, to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That which will help me and you get to Jannah. Heaviest on the scales is kalimatul Tawhīd, hadithul bitaqa. On one side of the scales, the man did 99 sin, 99, he has 99 scrolls of bad deeds. 99 scrolls of sins. One scroll is as far as the eye can see. And that will be put on one side of the scales. And on the other side of the scales, a card, a bitaqa written on it, La ilaha illallah. None has the right to be worshipped except Allah. It will outweigh all of the 99 scrolls of bad deeds. At-Tawhīd. You want to belittle Tawhīd and the Dawah to Tawhīd and the people of Tawhīd? Allah mentioned the ulama, they are witnesses, or they bear witness to At-Tawhīd. After he mentioned, he bear witness. شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط. Testifying to the oneness of Allah. You want to belittle that? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testified to His oneness. The angels testified to His oneness. And the prophet and the people of knowledge testify to the oneness of Allah. You want to belittle that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned? Because Tawheed maintains His oneness in His lordship. But that's not enough. To believe that Allah is the creator. And He is the sustainer. He's the planner, the mudabbir, and the khaliq, and the malik. It's not enough to believe in that. Because the kuffar of Quraysh, the disbelievers of Quraysh, they used to believe that Allah is the creator. وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ يَقُولُونَ اللَّهِ. If you ask them who created the heavens and the earth, they will say Allah. But the problem happened was when they were called to worship Allah alone. That was the issue. And Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, His Lordship, necessitates that you worship Him alone. The first command in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nas, u'budu rabbakum, alladhi khalaqakum, walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. He is the Lord, He deserves to be worshipped alone. It's in the Quran. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You only we worship. And you only we seek help. You only we worship. La ilaha illallah. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. And you only we seek help. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That there is no power or might, any movement, except by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot even blink except with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willing it. You cannot even breathe, you cannot even move except with the will of Allah. That He wills it and aids you in that. That's why when we hear the mu'addin and he says, Hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah, we say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That is what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. That your ibadah must be with isti'ana. Isti'ana, your ibadah with isti'ana, not of the makhluqeen, isti'ana of Allah Azza wa Jal. Your ibadah with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, Ya ghulam, inni u'allimuka kalimat. Ihfadillah yahfadk. Ihfadillah tajidu tujahak. وفي رواية تجد أمامك وإذا سألت فاسأل الله. What did he say afterwards? وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله. إذن إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. You cannot worship Allah except with the help of Allah. Not with the help of Fulan and Allan or the people in the graves are dead. With the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this chapter we have chosen because it's a beautiful chapter, and all of the chapters of Kitāb At-Tawhīd are beautiful. باب ما جاء أن السبب كفر بني آدم وتركهم دينهم هو الغلو في الصالحين. The chapter, what has come with regards to the main reason, or the reason with regards to disbelief of the children of Adam, is that they leave in their religion, it is because of extremism towards the righteous. وقول الله تعالى يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم. And the statement of Allah the Most High, O people of the book, don't be extreme regarding your religion. Shaykh Ubaid al-Jabiri hafidhullah, when he explains this chapter, he mentioned the full verse. يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم ولا تقولوا على الله إلا الحق. Don't be extreme in your religion and don't say about Allah except that which is truth. And this is not just for the Christians. This is for everyone. All of us must speak about Allah with haqq. ولا تقف ما ليس لك بعلم إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. Your hearing, your sight and your heart, all of it you will be questioned about. So don't speak about Allah without knowledge. وأن تقولوا على الله ما لا تعلمون. That you speak of Allah without knowledge. Allah mentioned that in the verses where He mentioned shirk. إنما المسيح عيسى ابن مريم رسول الله كلمته. Isa ibn Maryam is the messenger of Allah and His word. These beautiful verses, yes, we learn from this because we have to take examples from the previous generations who have come and they have distorted the message of Islam. Isa alayhi salam was a Muslim. Ibrahim alayhi salam was a Muslim. Hanifa Musliman wa ma kana min al-mushrikeen. And Isa alayhi salam said, Inni Abdullah. I'm a slave of Allah. He didn't say, Inni Ibnullah. Inni Abdullah. Atani al-Kitāb wa ja'alni nabiyya. He gave me the book and He made me a messenger. Wa ja'alni mubarakan aynama kunt. And made me blessed wherever I am. Blessed. With what? With Tawhīd. With calling the people to worship Allah. Not to worship Him and His mother. Shaykh Ubaid hafidhullah said هذه الآية تتضمن نهي أهل الكتاب عامة والنصارى خاصة عن الغلو في الدين. Specifically, this verse forbids or sent down forbidding the people of the book, in particular the Christians, and having extremism to them. In general, the people of the book, and in particular the Christians. والغلو هو الإفراط والزيادة على الحد المشروع. That is what غلو is. Being extreme, going beyond bounds, going beyond the boundaries. فإذا يعني the boundaries of that which is مشروع, of that which is legislated. We have قال الله, قال رسول الله, and we have the ijma' of the Sahaba, which is deen. So here, therefore, we have النص والإجماع. This is the deen. The book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. And the ijma', the consensus. عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين. وإن آمنوا بمثل ما آمنتم به فقد اهتدوا. And if you believe as they, the Sahaba, believe, then you will be guided. Surah Al-Baqarah 137. Surah An-Nisa 115. وَمَن يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Whoever contends with the Messenger ﷺ and follows a path other than the way of the believers. Whoever contends with the Messenger ﷺ after the guidance has been given to them and he follows a path other than the way of the believers, the Sahaba, we leave him in the path they have chosen and land him in the hellfire. What an evil abode that is. Ijma'. Ummati la tajtami'u ala ad-dalalah. My ummah will not unite upon misguidance. Hadith which is Hasan li-Shawahid in Sunan At-Tirmidhi. And it is in line with those two verses which we have mentioned. And it's in line with the many verses of ijma'. Ayatul ijma' wa man yushaqiq ar-rasul. Surah An-Nisa 115. Ayatul ijma'. Who said it? Imām al-Shafi'i rahimahullah. He said, I read the Quran from cover to cover. And I came upon ayatul ijma'. The ayah of consensus. Not like some people say, no ijma'. No, there is ijma'. With you there's no ijma', that's why you're all straight. But there is ijma' with the people upon guidance. And Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah said a beautiful statement, which if you find it, is like finding diamonds or gold, better than diamonds and gold in a mountain. Go back to his book, Al-Usul, min ilm al-Usul. He said, it is impossible. The Sahaba unite upon a matter and they oppose the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's impossible. Their ijma' is the Sunnah. That's why the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith of Irbad ibn Sariya, "Addu alayha," bite onto it, singular. He didn't say "Addu alayhima," bite onto both of them. The Sunnah of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Khulafa al-Rashidin. So here Shaykh Ubaid Hafidullah said this is, ghulu is going beyond the boundaries. What's the boundaries? The Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the ijma'. فإذا نظرنا في حال اليهود وجدناهم غالين في العزير. If we look at the way of the Jews, we find them extreme with regards to Uzair. Uzair being a righteous man, who when he saw his village being destroyed, he was contemplating how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring this village back to life like it was before. Yani bringing about a new village. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amatahu mi'ata am. Allah made him die 100 years. And rose him up again. Only to find the village is already now being inhabited again with new people. That was Uzair. And there's difference of opinion whether he's a prophet or not. But there's agreement, as Ibn Kathir rahimahullah mentioned, that he is a righteous man. And Allah mentioned him in the Quran. The Jews, they were extreme. They said that there is a son, or they claim that he has attributes of deity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they became extreme. قالوا هو ابن الله. They said he is the son of Allah. وإذا نظرنا في النصارى, we look at the Christians, وجدناهم غالين في المسيح. We find them that they are extreme with regards Al-Masih ibn Maryam, Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, and his mother, alayhi salatu wassalam. فعبدوهما. So both of those worshipped them من دون الله. فالقاعدة الشرعية أن كل ما ذم عليه الله أهل الكتاب فالذم متجه إلى هذه الأمة. So the qaida, the principle that is legislated that we take and benefit from, that is all of those things that the Jews and the Christians have been refuted for or spoken against for not doing for what they have done. Likewise, it is for us also. It is addressed to us also, so that we don't follow them in their misguidance. Didn't the Messenger ﷺ say, لَتَتَّبِعْنَ سَنَنَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ شِبْرًا بِشِبْرٍ ذِرَاعًا بِذِرَاعٍ لَوْ دَخَلُوا جُحْرَ ذَنْبٍ لَدَخَلْتُمُوهُ. You will surely follow the nations before you, handspan by handspan, arm's length by arm's length. Even if they were to go into the lizard hole, you would follow suit. And it was said to the Messenger ﷺ, who do you mean, the Jews and the Christians? He said, Faman. Who else? Al-Yahud al-Nasara qal Faman. So you will follow them. Shaykh Abdullah al-Bukhari explained this hadith, a beautiful benefit, and that is, why is it the lizard was mentioned, lizard hole or lizard burrow? Why was that mentioned? He said, because the lizard, when it makes the first hole, it has many holes inside, signifying many deviations as well. So when the Muslims will split, just as they split into 71 sects and the Christians into 72, the Muslims will follow suit and they will split into 73 sects. All of them in the fire except one. Which one, O Messenger of Allah? Al-Jama'ah. The Jama'ah is the Jama'ah, the Sahaba, like the Sahaba way. They were the Jama'at al-Muslimin at the time of the Messenger ﷺ. Just as in the hadith of Hudayfa in Sahih al-Bukhari, عليك بجماعة المسلمين وإمامهم. Which Jama'at al-Muslimin? Of takfir? Of calling Muslims kuffar? Of revolutionizing against Muslim governments and causing havoc and chaos in society? That's the Jama'at al-Muslimin? Abadan. The Jama'at al-Muslimin, the ones like the Sahaba. They were the Jama'at al-Muslim at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. عليك بجماعة المسلمين. The way of Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Those upon that way. And their leader, their Muslim leader, that you don't go out against them. That with your tongue or with your sword, causing more harm than good. You want to change an evil, you create a greater evil. That is not Islam. ديننا مبني على المصالح في جلبها وضرء للقبائح وإذا تعدد عدد المصالح يقدم أعلى من المصالح وضده تزاحم المفاسد يرتكب أدنى من المفاسد. Our deen is built upon bringing about good and repelling evil. And if there's two righteous matters that you have to choose which one to do, choose the best of them with the most reward. And opposite to that, evil matters. If you are going to fall upon an evil matter, not intending, but it may come a point where you have to choose between one evil matter and another evil matter which is less. And you have no choice. You're going to fall into that. You're in a desert. For example, you're in a desert and you have al-mayta in front of you, dead animal in front of you. What you going to do? You die or you eat? But biqadariha. You eat only sufficient enough to remove hunger, not to eat the whole thing. Only enough to suffice yourself, as is known in qawaid al-fiqhiyya. Biqadariha. So our deen is built upon that, not built upon bringing corruption, not bringing about changing evil and creating a greater evil. Read the seerah of Rasulullah. He never changed an evil to create a greater evil. He knew about the hypocrites of Makkah, of Medina. He knew about the hypocrites of Medina and he didn't kill them or fight them, such that it will be said that Muhammad is fighting the companions because they didn't know about who were the hypocrites. The Messenger never changed an evil to create a greater evil. So our deen is built upon rectification, not going beyond the boundaries, the ghulu. Iyyakumul ghulu, as we will come to. Be warned of extremism. Shaykh Ubayd Hafidhullah said, وَهَلْ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْأُمَّةِ مَنْ هُوَ مُشَابِهٌ لِأَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ فِي الْغُلُو. Is there anyone in this ummah who's similar to the people of the book in their extremism? He said, Na'am. There is. غُلَاةُ مُتَصَوِّفَةً. These extreme Sufis, يعبدون من يزعمون فيهم الولاية فيقربون لهم القرابين ويستغيثون بهم أحياء وأمواتا فيما لا يقدر عليه إلا الله سبحانه وتعالى. And those who claim that they sacrifice things to them to get them closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They give them things in order for them to get closer to Allah. So they seek intercession from them besides Allah, or they seek help from them besides Allah. Yastaghithun. Al-istighatha, it is seeking help in the time of need. In the time of need you seek help from Allah. أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ وَيَجْعَلَكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ أَإِلَٰهٌ مَعَ اللَّهِ. Allah is the one that is sought when all else fails, and you are muttar, needy, and you are in need, and you are in problems and in difficulty and hardship. And who is the one that can remove harm from you? وَيُكْشِفُ السُّوءَ وَيَجْعَلَكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ. And He makes you inherit the earth. أَإِلَٰهٌ مَعَ اللَّهِ. Can there be any other deity besides Allah? You don't go to the Sufi sheikhs who have pile of soil above them in their graves, seeking help from the dead. You don't do that. You don't go and sacrifice at the grave. You don't do tawaf at the graves. You don't call upon the dead. You don't rely upon the dead or rely upon other than Allah by wearing talismans to rely upon. You rely upon Allah. فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى الْحَيِّ الَّذِي لَا يَمُوتُ. Rely upon the one who is the perfect living, who doesn't die. وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. Rely upon Allah. Allah loves those who rely upon Him. As Umar radiallahu anhu said in hadith, which is in that the Messenger said, and you said 40 hadith. Hadith which is authentic. لو أنكم تتوكلون على الله حق توكله لرزقكم كما يرزق الطير يغدو خماصا ويروح بطانا. If you were truly to rely upon Allah, a true reliance, you'll be like the bird that goes out early in the morning, hungry, comes back full. That's the true reliance. Reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So not going to them, to those besides Allah, seeking to remove harm, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who removes harm. وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينَ. When I'm sick, He's the one who cures me. He's the one who cures. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ. If any harm befalls you that Allah wills, none can remove it but Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we call upon Allah to remove harm and to bring about good, not to the people in the graves and the dead, even if they die and so called, and they are, or they were righteous in their lives, because they wouldn't call you to that in the first place. Then he said, وَقَدْ قَدَّمْنَا شُرُوطَ الْإِسْتِغَاثَةِ بِالْمَخْلُوقِ. We have already mentioned the conditions of istighatha, of seeking help in the times of difficulty. If it's somebody that is alive and is righteous, he's alive and is able to help you in an affair, then that is allowed. But he's dead and is obviously not able to help you. He is dead. قد مات خلاص. He's in need of your du'as. He's in need of your supplications. That's why the Prophet told us, when you go to the graveyard, you say, Assalamu alaikum, ya ahl al-diyari min al-mu'minin, antum as-sabiqun wa nahnu lahiqun. Allahumma ighfir lana wa lakum. You supplicating for them, not asking them anything. And when you are in your tashahhud, Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. The Prophet taught us not to ask from the dead, but to supplicate for the righteous, whether they are dead or alive. Supplicate for them. And when you're saying, Salamu alaykum ya ahl, ya here is not asking them, you're addressing them. You're not asking them. The Sufis, they think just because of that word ya, they think you are calling upon them. You're not calling upon them. Salamu alaykum ya ahl al-diyar mu'min. Antum, you are addressing them, supplicating for them. You're not asking them for anything. The same is the salah. Salamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. You are supplicating for them, the righteous who have passed away, as well as the righteous who are alive. And this is example of the ghulu of the Sufis, their famous burda of Busayri. Nasallahu salama. Burda of Busayri, which is supposed to be a poem praising the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but there is exaggeration in the praise. And there's another book here saying, the Qasidatul Burda, Ya akram al-khalqi mali man aludu bihi siwaka inda hulul al-hadith al-amami. Oh, the most noble of creations, who can I seek refuge in other than you when widespread calamities begin? Widespread calamities, you call upon Allah. You don't call upon the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh, the most noble of creation, who can I seek refuge? When you say A'udhu Billah, do you say A'udhu Billah, or you say Bi Muhammad? A'udhu Billah, even when you recite the Quran. So where did you get this? And they memorize it, and they're so happy to memorize it without the correct explanation that this is shirk, to call upon other than Allah. And isti'ada is ibadah. It's a form of ibadah. How do we know that? Because the Prophet ﷺ taught us the dua in the morning and dua in the evening. A'udhu bi kalimati Allahi tammati min sharri ma khalaq. We seek refuge. A'udhu bi kalimati Allah, by the complete words of Allah. By the complete words of Allah from the evil that He has created. We seek refuge with the complete words and that is also proof to say the Quran is not created. The Quran is speech of Allah, because you don't seek refuge with something which is created. A'udhu bi kalimati Allahi tammat min sharri ma khalaq. So isti'adah is a form of ibadah. Seeking refuge, seeking help is a form of ibadah. So how can you say that about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Likewise, in the next line, فَإِنَّ مِنْ جُودِكَ الدُّنْيَا وَضَرَّتَهَا وَمِنْ عُلُومِكَ عِلْمَ اللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ. O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the existence of this world and the hereafter owes to your generosity. The existence of this dunya and the akhirah owes to your generosity. Who is the creator of the heavens and the earth? لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and in the earth. You give it to other than Allah? And your knowledge encompasses the knowledge of the preserved tablet and the pen. Your knowledge, O Messenger of Allah, encompasses the knowledge of the pen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the pen to write 50,000 years before creation. The pen said, what should I write? Allah commanded, write whatever is going to happen. يعني علم الغيب. The Prophet does not know everything. If he had known everything, he would have known the food that came to him from the Jewish lady when she gave him the meat. He would have known there's poison inside. But he didn't know there's poison inside because he doesn't know everything. Allah knows everything. وعنده مفاتيح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو subhanahu wa ta'ala. With him are the keys to the unseen. No one knows it but him. When the Prophet ﷺ was asked about the hour, did he know the hour? He said, مَا الْمَسْئُولُ عَنْهَا بِأَعْلَمِ مِنَ السَّائِلِ. The one being questioned knows no more than the questioner. No, you Jibreel alayhi salatu know, nor do I know. So how he knows the knowledge of the pen? Billah. Billah. And we call upon the Sufis to turn back to Tawhīd. And don't exaggerate the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam like the Christians exaggerated Isa ibn Maryam until they end up worshipping him. We worship Allah, not Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or Isa or Ibrahim or Nuh. We don't worship any of the prophets. We love all of them. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. We don't separate between any of them distinct. But we don't separate in what? In their call. Their call was one. And the best of them, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This burda of Busayri, look, I had to buy this to show you. It cost me £6. Look how small it is. Yani, Allah musta'an. Wasted my money, but inshallah, at least you can see for your own self. Yani at least £1 maybe. Look small. £6 and look. Nasallallahu salama. May Allah protect us. But now the reason why I'm saying this is because look what they say. If you recite the burda, this is somebody called Sayyid Sheikh Muhammad al-Yaqubi. Introduction by Sheikh Faisal Abdul Razzaq. So look what it says. For blessings in life or long life, recite it 1,001 times. Yani 1,001 times, you get blessing. What about Quran? Billah yaqra Quran, ya, you get blessing for each letter. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله Allah guide us and guide them, Ya Rabb. And he continues, he says, for the removal of difficulties, you have to recite it 71 times. SubhanAllah. For increase of wealth, maybe you're poor, you need some money. You recite it 700 times. What if it's 699 times? And you recite in what? Shirk? Those lines which you recited, that is shirk, clear shirk. Isti'adha bi ghayrillah and di'a ilm al-ghayb li ghayrillah. Unconditionally. That is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And look at this. This is ghulu fi salihin. That is haram, ghulu fi salihin. How about if it's ghulu fi talihin? Somebody that is not righteous is worse. And Allah knows the state of the people upon death. To make easy all difficult tasks, to recite 771 times. For blessings of long life for children, to recite once daily and blow on the child or children. What happened to Surah Al-Fatiha? As the Prophet said to Abu Sa'id Al-Khudri radiallahu anhu, وَمَا يُدْرِيكَ أَنَّهَا الرُّقْيَةِ Ruqya Shar'iyya, reciting over the place where it harms you. Reading the adhkar, Sallallahu al-Azim Rabb al-Ashir Kareem Yashfiq, 7 times. The adhkar that the Prophet taught. You left that, you brought the bid'ah, which has shirk. And you have to do it 771 times. For the blessings of becoming pious and wealthy, recite it 17 times on a Thursday evening for 7 weeks. Allah ya'inak. 7 weeks. Come on, yani billah. Come on, this is not yani deen of Allah, ya akhi. To increase memory by reciting once a day on rose water for 7 days and then drink it. Where are you going to find rose water? May Allah protect us. Allah, this is very sad. Though it sounds really, but really sad. To this level you've gone? To this level you're misguiding the people? Our Sufis? To this level? Billah? Ala tattaqullah? To remove great hardship by keeping 3 days of fast, and also to recite it 21 times a day. The house will be protected from thieves by keeping a copy of the Burda in the house. Allah ya ikhwan. On a journey, if recited once daily, one will, yes, and subhanAllah, that one you solve the problem of burglary in this country. If only the police knew. What is this? Allah protect us, Allah. The house will be protected from thieves by keeping a copy of the Burda in the house. Did you bring something the Prophet did not bring? The Prophet said, hadith of the narration of Abu Dhar Ghifari, تَرَقْنَا رَسُولُ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ وَمَا طَائِرُ يُقَلِّبُ جَنَاحَيْهِ فِي الْهَوَىٰ إِلَّا وَأَخْبَرْنَا عَنْهُ. The Prophet left us upon a way that even the bird flapping its wings in the sky, he told us about it. Everything is complete. الْيَوْمَ أَكْمَلْتُ لَكُمْ دِينَكُمْ وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. This day have I perfected your religion and bestowed my favor upon you and have made Islam pleasing for you as your religion. That's deen is complete. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, in the explanation of this verse, he said, such that you will not require any deen other than Islam, any prophet to follow, except the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last of the prophets and the best of the prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rather than make it up as you go along. This is make it up as you go along. Fooling the people, cheating. فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ فَوَيْلٌ لَهُمْ مِمَّا كَتَبَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَوَيْلٌ لَهُمْ مِمَّا يَكْسِبُونَ. Yes, that is regarding the Christians who change the scriptures with their own hands, and those that follow them, that try to change the deen of Allah. غُلُو فِي الصَّالِحِينَ. This is ghulu, not even salihin. Nasallallahu salama. It's worse. Ghulu fi salihin is not allowed. How about ghulu fi? Nasallallahu salama. في غير الصالحين, في المجرمين, في المفسدين. To remove great hardship by keeping 3-day fast and also recite it 21 times a day. On a journey, if recited once daily, one will be protected from the hardships of travel. Whoever is in debt should recite the Burda 1,000 times. A'udhu billah. If someone reads 41 times or has someone else read it for them on the night of Jum'ah for a certain aim or purpose, then they will have that aim or purpose fulfilled. To remove the evil effects of jinn, read it 40 times. To remove calamities from a newborn, read it 9 times on seawater and bathe the child with it. Nasallahu salama. For labor pains, read it 3 times and what's this? Even the pregnant woman, they didn't leave. A ship will be safeguarded if it passes through a storm. Yani even the ship will be saved. May Allah protect us. This is what is out there. This is what we're up against. We have to busy the people with Tawhīd. It's because they left Tawhīd. It's because the people didn't value Tawhīd and see its virtues. It's that they're misguiding the people. They're leading them astray. We have to busy the people with Tawhīd in detail. Alhamdulillah, Allah blessed us. He didn't leave us in the dark. He blessed us with ulama who are upon the way of the Anbiya. Ulama al-Rabbaniyin. They are warathatul Anbiya. إن الأنبياء لم يورثوا دينارا ولا درهما ولكن ورثوا العلم فمن أخذها أخذ بحظ وافر. The prophets don't leave behind dinars or dirhams, they leave behind knowledge. So whoever gains it gains a great treasure. They are the ulama. The likes of this century, the likes of Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah, who has books refuting shirk. Ulama busying themselves day in, day out, teaching the people Tawhīd in the Haramain, in Mecca and Medina. More than 20 classes a day. 20 classes, a week. Teaching hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, teaching the books of Tawhīd, teaching Aqidah. And in Riyadh, ulama, the likes of Sheikh Salih bin Fawzan al-Fawzan, has books, numerous books on Tawhīd. And before him, the likes of the Faqih, the Allama, Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullah, this great scholar. In every fan, in every area, he has numerous benefits in tafsir, in hadith, in fiqh, in qawaid al-fiqhiyya, in mustalah al-hadith, in the lugha Arabiya, a whole madrasa of ilm. At the head of the century, they were the revivers of this deen. Alhamdulillah, Allah did not leave us in the dark. لا تزال طائفة من أمتي على الحق ظاهرين لا يضرهم من خذلهم ولا من خالفهم حتى يأتي أمر الله وهم على ذلك. There will not cease to be a group upholding the truth, not abandoned by those who oppose them, nor by those who differ from them, until the command of Allah, not being harmed by those who abandon them, nor by those who differ from them, until the command of Allah comes and they are upon that. And in Medina, alhamdulillah, the likes of Shaykh Abdul Muhsin al-Abbad, who was teaching in the Haram, and the one who defended the Sunnah and refuted many of the people of innovation, the likes of Shaykh Rabi' bin Hadi al-Madkhali, and the likes of Shaykh Ubaid al-Jabri, whom we are looking at his book now, Kitāb, the Sharh of Kitāb At-Tawhīd, ulama, that we have seen with our own eyes. And the works that they have left behind, ilm upon ilm, reviving the correct belief in Allah and His books and His angels in the last day, and the qadr, the pre-decree, good and bad, and reviving the 5 pillars of Islam. Ulama. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who speak well of them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise them many levels. The likes of those who have passed away, Shaykh Muhammad Nasiruddin al-Albani rahimahullah, the great scholar of hadith. As Shaykh Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah said about him, رجل طويل الباع واسع الاطلاع قني الإقناع. Allahu Akbar. Quick in sufficing you, vast in research, patient with the people. And Shaykh Abdulaziz bin Baz rahimahullah said, none under the sky living today knows more hadith than him that he knows of. Ulama. The great benefit of this verse, Shaykh Ubaid al-Jabri says, الفائدة الأولى أن العبادة هي محض حق الله. Ibadah is the right of Allah solely. ولا حق فيها لأحد من الخلق. That no one has the right for that ibadah except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is ibadah? Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah in his book Al-Ubudiyya, he said, Al-ibadatu ismun jami' لكل ما يحبه الله ويرضاه من الأقوال والأفعال الظاهرة والباطنة. Ibadah is a comprehensive term towards everything that Allah loves and is pleased with, from statements and actions, that which is apparent, that which is hidden. That is ibadah. Your salah, قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. Say that my salah, my prayer, and my sacrifice, and my life and my death is for Allah, the Lord of all creation. لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. The second benefit to claim Allah as a son is disbelief. And the person leaves the deen by saying that. And his shirk, that is the general ruling. The specific ruling, establish the proof upon them. And the third benefit, هذا هي دليل على وحدانيته سبحانه وتعالى وكذلك هي دليل على كمال غناه. This is proof of the perfection of Allah's richness and not in need of anyone. The second proof, عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما في قول الله تعالى وقالوا لا تذرن آلهتكم ولا تذرن ودا ولا سواعا ولا يغوث ويعوق ونسرا وقد أضلوا كثيرا. These 5 righteous men, the time of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, when these 5 righteous men died, the people, they made images of them. And then when the scholars at that time passed away, this is before Nuh, when the scholars at that time died, then the people forgot knowledge and they ended up worshipping them. That is why we say the khayriyah upon this ummah is because of ulama. See, when they died, then the people took these righteous men as intermediaries besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is what Muhammad Wahab rahimahullah mentioned regarding that narration of Anas radiallahu anhu from that verse. Shaykh Hurraira hafidhullah said, أقول, he says that there are benefits regarding this. Number 1, أن البدعة بريد الكفر. Bid'ah, innovation, leads to disbelief. The person keeps upon bid'ah, and eventually they may end up falling into disbelief. وسلمه, and also it is like a ladder leading to it. وذلكم أن هؤلاء الصالحين كانوا قبل مبعث نوح عليه الصلاة والسلام فصورهم قومهم ليتأسوا بعبادتهم. Because before Nuh عليه الصلاة والسلام came, these 5 righteous people, when they died, the people made images of them or statues of them, and they ended up worshipping them besides Allah when the scholars died. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thereafter, He sent Nuh alayhi salatu salam. The second benefit, أن الأصل هو التوحيد. That is the asl. That is the fitrah. That the person is upon tawheed, is upon la ilaha illallah. والشرك أمر طارئ. And shirk is that which comes upon the person, either the person accepts it or he repels it. And then he mentioned the next narration. يقول الله تعالى وإني خلقت عبادي حنفاء. Allah created His servants حنفاء. What is a hanif? The one who sways away from shirk. It's upright. وإنهم أتتهم الشياطين. And the devils came to them and they led them astray. And also Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he mentioned between Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam and Adam were 10 generations. They were all upon Tawhid. Naam. And then thereafter they fell into shirk. The third benefit, al-hadar min fitnat al-tasawir. Warning against the fitna of picture making, statues or picture making. May Allah protect us. Yes, the hadith in Sahih Muslim أشد الناس عذابا يوم القيامة المصورون. The ones who will be punished the most on the day of judgment are the picture makers. So one should be careful of taking pictures. Now it's become so easy, the person takes picture and he hangs it up on the wall, and Shaykh Ubaid mentions that the people hanging their pictures on the walls in their houses, and they expect angels to come into their houses. If angels are not going to come, who's going to come to the house then? Now, and he said the next benefit, al-hadar min al-bid'ah wal-wujub al-tamassuk bis-sunnah, the obligation to hold on to the sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ warned against bid'ah before he appeared. إياكم ومحدثات الأمور, the hadith of Irbad ibn Sariyah. Be warned of the newly invented matters. فإن كل بدعة ضلالة, for every innovation is a misguidance. Hadith of Irbad ibn Sariyah, which is in the Muqaddimah of Sunan ibn Majah. It's in Musnad Imam Ahmad with different wordings, and it's in likewise Sunan Abi Dawood, in Kitāb Sunnah, a well-known narration which is authentic due to the numerous supporting ahadith. And fifthly, يجب على المسلم أن يبتعد عن أفكار البشر, those afkar that oppose the sunnah. Not my sheikh said, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah said, the Prophet ﷺ said, and the companions conveyed. This is deen, this is ilm. كما قال ابن القيم العلم قال الله قال رسوله قال صحابته ليس بالتمويه, without doubt. ما العلم نصبك لخلاف سفاهة بين الرسول وبين رأي فلان. And it is foolishness to compare the statement of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the statement of anyone else. Going back to the book and the sunnah and the understanding of the Sahaba. تركت فيكم أمرين ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا كتاب الله وسنتي. You won't go astray if you hold on to these two in the understanding of Sahaba. No, somebody comes later and he says, my sheikh said, I think this, I think. If your sheikh says something that opposes the sunnah, it is foolishness to compare your sheikh's statement with the statement of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah mentioned. That is ilm. You're going to go against the knowledge that is blessed, that is from Allah, that is wahi. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. It's revelation. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, قال غير واحد من السلف لما ماتوا عكفوا على قبورهم ثم صوروا تماثيلهم ثم طال عليهم الأمد فعبدوهم. We mentioned that they made pictures of these or images of these righteous men and they worshipped them thereafter. Then Muhammad Wahab rahimahullah mentions the next narration of Umar radiallahu anhu from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he said, لا تطروني كما أطرأت النصارى عيسى ابن مريم وإنما أنا عبد فقولوا عبد الله ورسوله. I'm a slave of Allah. Rasulullah saying, I'm a slave of Allah, I'm a worshipper of Allah. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah has an excellent book called Al-Ubudiyya. How beautiful that book is. Servitude, where you give your life and your death and your prayer and your sacrifice for Allah. And that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best of the slaves of Allah. And he was happy to be a slave of Allah. I am a slave of Allah, a worshipper of Allah and His Messenger. How beautiful that is. سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises Himself here in the beginning of Surah Al-Isra, and He mentioned that He rose or He raised His servant, meaning Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Next surah, Surah Al-Kahf. Alhamdulillah الذي أنزل على عبدنا الكتاب ولا على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. All praise is due to Allah who has revealed to His slave the book, to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the book, the Quran. ولم يجعل له عوجا, and there is no crookedness in it. There's no deficiency in it. There's no crookedness in it, no deficiency in it, and no contradiction in it. ولم يجعل له عوجا. What did he say afterwards? قَيِّمًا, upright. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, in the explanation of this verse, he said, look how Allah negated all imperfection for the Quran, then affirmed all perfection for the Quran. That is utmost perfection. It's the speech of Allah. And here he gave it to his slave, his worshipper, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَإِن كُنتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. If you are in doubt as to what we have revealed to our slave, then bring a chapter like it. وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا. And if you cannot, and you shall not. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. Then prepare for the fire whose fuel is men and stone. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ, which is prepared for the disbelievers. وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُمْ إِن كُنتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُم صَادِقِينَ. I missed that. And bring your shuhada, bring your witnesses if you are truthful to what we have mentioned. This hadith, don't exaggerate. One Sufi, he said, you can never exaggerate, he said. You can never exaggerate in praising Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Allah made him the message of Allah. But here the Prophet said, don't exaggerate. So what do you mean you can never exaggerate? He said, don't exaggerate. That means there must be a situation where you can, that you shouldn't. So don't bring your aql, don't bring your opinion. As Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said, leave your opinion in your pocket. When it comes to the dalil, the hadith of Rasul, leave your opinion in your pocket. And in one narration, leave it far away in such and such planet. That's where you should leave your opinion. Another wording, leave it in Yemen, and far away from us. All the way there. Follow the dalil. Abdullah ibn Umar, he heard a man say, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Abdullah ibn Umar said, وأنا أقول الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ولكن ما هكذا علمنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. And I also say salah upon the messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. But this is not how he taught us. When we sneeze, what do we say? Alhamdulillah. And in Sunnah Abi Dawud, authentic narration, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You have anything else from the Sahih Sunnah? If you don't add, don't add. If you don't have, don't add. Don't bring it from yourself. There isn't anything that will get you to paradise except the Prophet ﷺ told us. Hadith of Abi Sa'id al-Khudri. There isn't anything that will keep you away from the hellfire except the Prophet ﷺ warned us. So don't exaggerate like they exaggerated. The Christians exaggerated. They say he's born today, on 25th December. Is that exaggeration? Even they know they didn't, he wasn't born today. They know. They know it's all a lie. It's all a hoax. They know that the people that they're listening to them, even the priests, they know it's a lie. But it's too late. Now it fits in nice with the new year. It's a nice little holiday. If we say it's in autumn, which is most likely when Jesus was born, because his mother Maryam alayhi salam was eating ripe dates. Ripe dates come out in the autumn time. Those who, mashallah, sell dates, they know. You go look for dates now on a tree. It's winter. She was eating dates, ripe dates. They know. But it's all a hoax. It's all a game. It's all entertainment. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهُ وَلَلدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. They know it's all a lie. What has Father Christmas got to do with this? Santa Claus? Billah. And you add so many different pagan issues they have in this. What has the Christmas tree got to do with it? And you have Muslims, some Muslims blindly following. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا تكن إمعة. Don't be a sheep. Don't be a blind follower. إن أحسن الناس أحسنتم وإن أساء الناس أسأتم. If the people are good, I'm good. If the people are evil, I'm evil. What is this? It's never too late for the Muslim. Haqq is haqq. Truth is truth. That's why we, year in, year out, we say to those who celebrate the Prophet's birthday, we say, did the Prophet do it? No. Did the Sahaba do it, who loved him the most? No. Did the Tabi'in do it? No. Did their successors do it? No. First generation, second generation, third generation. No, no, no. Now we come to the fourth generation. The Fatimiyya sect, the Shia sect in Egypt invented this Milad al-Nabi. So you're a blind follower then. And you are a follower of those nations that came. They have got Christmas, we also want Muslim Mas, or we want also Milad al-Nabi. Nasallahu salama. Finally, in this last section, after the various verses we mentioned about the ubudiyyah, that the Messenger is the best of the worshippers of Allah. He mentioned the hadith of the Prophet Iyyakum wal ghulu, be warned of extremism. فَإِنَّمَا أَهْلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ الْغُلُو. For the thing that made the people destroyed before you was al-ghulu. In a hadith which is sahih, in Muslim Imam Ahmad and Sunan Nasa'i, Shaykh Albani said it's sahih. And likewise before him, Al-Hafidh al-Nawawi said its isnad is sahih ala shart Muslim. And in narration in Sahih Muslim, and Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال هلك المتنطعون ثلاثا. The ones that are extreme are destroyed, or they will become destroyed. هلك المتنطعون, هلك, those extreme go beyond the boundaries. Just like all of these misguided groups, these newly invented groups, all of them. Yes, they may talk about sins, but which of these groups talk about bid'ah? You see? The Prophet warned against bid'ah. Look, he's warning against extremism. Where is your da'wah against bid'ah? أو جماعة التبليغ, أو جماعة الإخوان, أو جماعة التكفير, busy killing the people left, right and center on London Bridge, in Manchester. Where is your da'wah to Tawhīd? What is this? Extremism. You're destroying yourself with ignorance. Jama'at al-Tabligh stories in their book, Tabligh al-Nisab. Stories claiming some saints they have knowledge of the unseen. Claiming that there's a hand that comes out of the Kaaba. There's a story there where there's a hand coming out of the Kaaba hitting the people. Where is this? Billah. Where's that hand now? Billah, where's the hand now? I'm just looking. We're waiting. Wallah, there's a story there. A hand comes out of the Kaaba and slaps somebody. And he says to him, how dare you look at the ankles of the women? There's people doing more haram than that. People on riba, people on mortgages, people on bid'ah. It's worse. Storytellers. Inna bani Israel lamma halaku qassu. The Prophet said, Bani Israel, when they became destroyed, they turned to storytelling. This is what they are, storytellers. They give you stories after stories. Ya akhi, qala Allah, qala Rasulullah, qala Sahaba, not stories. Stories, yes, of Sahaba, Jazakallah khair, are authentic. Stories of the Prophets, Jazakallah khair, are authentic. But not misguiding the people and cheating the people. Cheating the ummah. So this hadith, Shaykh Ubaid Hafidullah said, he said, Al-Mutanatti'un, they're the ones who go beyond the boundaries. And also, the ones also in the Arabic language who exaggerate in their speech. They overdo it. Some people think eloquence, khalas, it's just, deen is just eloquence. What's about following the Sunnah? Yeah, some people, when they speak, they might be very eloquent in the Arabic language, and he's gone, you can see his tongue and going back, forth. But when he's no Sunnah, ya akhi, no athar, this did not beguile the people of Sunnah. Never did it beguile the people of Sunnah. Beautiful speech. Because they knew the hadith in Bukhari, Inna min al-bayan la sihra, that among speech there is magic. People can, with their speech, he's got you. Akhi, check. Is there athar there? Is there narrations? That's why Imam al-Awza'i, rahimahullah, the scholar of Sham, said, Alayka bi athari salaf, wa in rafadaka an-nas. Upon you is to stick to the narrations of the Salaf, even if the people were to abandon you. And in the sittings of Imam Ahmad, Alayka bil hadithi wa ahlihi, fara'yu laylun. والحديث نهار ولربما غلط الفتى سبل الهدى والشمس بازغة لها أنوار. Upon you is hadith and his people, because opinion is like nights unclear, while hadith is like days clear. And it may be a youth cannot see the path of guidance while the sun is shining in its splendor. It's clear. لا تزال طائفة على الحق ظاهرين. It's clear. But you can't see it. You can't see it. But it's clear. But the more knowledge you gain of the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ, it becomes clearer to you the dangers of shirk and the dangers of extremism towards whether they are righteous or unrighteous. It's not allowed. The haqq will go forward and always go forward. Allah will aid the haqq. إِنَّا لَنَنْصُرُ رُسُلْنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. We will give victory to our messengers and the believers. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. You will be uppermost if you are true believers. Be upon the correct belief. And that should emanate in your actions. The fruits of Aqidah and Tawhīd should be in your actions. Your Salawatul Khams, your 5 daily prayers, your charity, your kindness to your neighbors, your righteousness to your mother, your father and your family, keeping ties of kinship. It's not academics. It is deen, it is life that you live. Of fear of Allah, of Tawheed, conscious that Allah is watching you. Allah is al-Raqib. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, you care for what you say. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. Ready to write, the angels ready to record. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. You're ready. إن ربك لبالمرصاد. Your Lord is ever watchful. قال ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما يسمع ويرى. Nobody escapes the kingdom of Allah. He will know what you have done and what you will do and what you're doing now. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's al-Alim, al-Khabir, al-Latif, al-Khabir. Look at those beautiful names of Allah. Latif with Khabir. Surah Al-Luqman. إنها إن تكن مثقال حبة من خردل فتكن في صخرة أو في السماوات أو في الأرض يأتي بها الله إن الله لطيف خبير. If it be an action which is in a rock or in the earth, penetrated deep into the earth, or in the heavens, in the skies above, Allah will bring it out. No escape. يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ. On that day, actions or the secrets that you and me used to do will become apparent. There's no escaping Allah. أَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ. Where are you going to go? If you die upon shirk or bid'ah, where are you going to go? You go back to Allah and He will question you. ما منكم إلا وسيكلمهم الله يوم القيامة بلا ترجمان. Without an intermediary. Your accountability now. Your hisab has come. Life is short and it's passing by very quickly. فَجُوزُ عَنَّا فَإِنَّ الْعِيشَةَ قُدَّمًا. So pass by quickly, for the real life lies ahead of it. Don't be deluded by this dunya. فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. Don't be deceived by the life of this world, and don't be deceived by the chief of deceivers, the shaitan. He wants to deceive you. لَأَغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ مِنْهُمُ الْمُخْلَصِينَ. I will lead all of them astray, except the sincere servants amongst you. Ibad. Ibad Allah salihin. Al-Mukhlasin. Right, the sincere worshippers of Allah. They're the ones you won't get. They're the ones He has no sultan over. So we strive to the best of our ability to learn Tawheed and to know the severity of shirk. عرفت الشر لا لشر ولكن توقيه ومن لم يعرف الخير من الشر يقع فيه. كان الناس يسألون الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الخير وكنت أسأل عن الشر مخافة أن يدركني فأقع فيه. Fearing that he will fall into it. We must know the evil to keep away from it. We must know shirk to keep away from it in detail. We must know bid'ah to keep away from it in detail. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah forgive us our shortcomings. May Allah make us live a life of Tawheed and Sunnah. May Allah make us die upon Tawheed and Sunnah, such that the last thing we say from our tongues, the last thing we say is La ilaha illallah, sincerely from our hearts. It's no joke. And you can laugh and joke and jest and lie on the internet. It's all fun and it's all a game and it's all to you. But it's not to Allah. It's not to Allah. You are accountable. You are accountable to Allah. And Allah will bring you. And the muflis will come on Yawm al-Qiyamah and وَقَدْ ضَرَبَ هَذَا وَشَتَمَ هَذَا وَأَخَذَ مَالَ هَذَا. He has hit this one. He has taken the wealth of this one. And he has insulted this one. He will come on Yawm al-Qiyamah as a muflis. And what greater iflas than speaking about the people of Tawheed. Those who are trying to revive and follow the way of the ulama and revive Tawheed in their communities. And you speak ill of them. Where are your fruits? Oh, people of bid'ah, where are your fruits? Oh, people of extremism, or people of misguidance who attack they have nothing to do except attack the Salafis. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. That is your da'wah. Nothing on this group and that group and this one and that. The only one they have is attack the Salafiyun, the Athariyun, the people of Tawheed. That's all you have. MashaAllah. That's your juhud. Not even usul al-thalatha you can all unite upon. You can't even unite upon usul al-thalatha to even explain it to your community. MashaAllah, easy to destroy, but it's hard to build. Alhamdulillah, up and down the country, over 20 Islamic centers in England. Up and down the country, in the past 25 years, nearly coming to 30 years of da'wah here in this country, in the United Kingdom. This with the aid, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ulama, the scholars of Ahl-Sunnah, the likes that we mentioned, Sheikh Abdulilah ibn Baz rahimullah, yes, they were being translated, their fatwa and their works were being translated. And Sheikh ibn Uthaymeen rahimullah, and Sheikh al-Albani rahimullah, and Sheikh Salih Fawzan, and Sheikh al-Haydan, and other than them. And from the scholars of Medina, Sheikh Rabi' and Sheikh Ubaid, yes, they repelled a lot of harm. And they explained much. And alhamdulillah, up and down the country, more than 25 or so Islamic centers or areas of da'wah spreading on Tawheed and Sunnah. Warning against shirk and bid'ah. What a blessed da'wah that is, because it's aided by Allah. No doubt that this is the aided group. This is the Ta'ifat al-Mansura. Without doubt. Aided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just in our Markaz Mu'adh al-Jabal, 160 children being taught Islam and Quran. Up and down the country, how many hundreds of children? We heard in Manchester, mashallah, brothers teaching over 200 children. And in Bradford, and no doubt here, alhamdulillah, this Markaz al-Salafi, MASJID al-Salafi, and in Aston, the church that was bought and now is established masjid, where the word of Allah is the highest. And the masjid that was bought, the church that was bought in East London, not bought upon ghish, upon cheating and under the table, bought with sidq. And Allah aided those brothers. Alhamdulillah, the truth be said, aided those brothers to establish Tawheed and Sunnah in their communities up and down the country. And you only see mahabbah. With all of these communities, you only see mahabbah and ukhuwah, brotherhood and love. Because that's what Tawheed does. And that's what Sunnah does. It calls you to ijtima'. Not furqa, not splitting. That is the way of the mushrikeen. They split their communities. And that is the way of those who call to that. And they will be responsible on Yawm al-Qiyamah for their splitting of the ummah, for their splitting of the Muslims, for their splitting of the communities. They will be responsible. They want to do their own thing, or they want to, and in the end it's not really their own thing, it's just they don't want to work with you. They don't want to cooperate with you. Okay. You want to learn the hard way? Learn the hard way. And you'll see. Ahlul Sunnah from wala and bara is your love for Allah's sake and your hate for Allah's sake. How come you be in a community and your wala wal bara is upside down? Billah. Wala wal bara, love for Allah's sake, hate for Allah's sake. That is the one who's perfected Iman. You're in a community and you want to oppose the people of Sunnah. Alhamdulillah الذي عافانا مما ابتلاهم به وفضلنا على كثير من خلق تفضيلا. May Allah protect us and aid us and forgive us our shortcomings. We have a lot to do. We have a lot of work to do to continue calling the people to Tawhīd and Sunnah away from shirk and bid'ah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه الغفور الرحيم.